Kamruzzaman Choudhury, I'd like you to take that second point that he was raised. Mr. Jain says that there is a fear that if there is a survey, the truth may come out and that may be unpalatable to a section, and that is why there are these attempts to scuttle the process. Your response to that, Kamruzzaman Choudhury.
The truth
Abdul Razak Khan, speak out, please don't speak out of turn, please. I've told you this once. I want Kamruzzaman Choudhury to come in now.
Yeah.
What kind of a debate is this?
Yeah, Madhav, let me just remind you what the Supreme Court said in the judgment of the Ayodhya Babri Masjid case. The judgment clearly states in one fact that there might not be any historical evidence that Ram was actually born beneath the mosque. The site of the Ram born was not exactly, may not be there. But faith and Astha says that Ram was born in Ayodhya and maybe on that spot particularly. I am not quoting you verbatim the Supreme Court judgment out here, but the essence of the reading was in that way. So now you have got a curious case of Mathura and the Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi and the Eidgah Masjid out here. Now let me tell you another fact out here. Some tyrant by the name of Aurangzeb came to India, looted, plundered, destroyed a number of things in India. There is no denying the fact from the history. That is accepted fact. Now tell me one thing, after 1947, have we not adopted a new constitution given to us by Baba Ambedkar? Now, as an Indian of 2023, I have a right to know what happened way back in 1900 something or 1800 or 1700 centuries. But do I have a right as an Indian to follow the Indian constitution to change the nature and character of that dispute? No. I believe every one of us will agree no.
Yeah.
Then what is the solution out here?
So that's for the courts.
We fall back on the courts.
Yes.
Now wait, let me finish. As a congressman, I have full faith in the courts of this country. Now what happens is here, there is a majoritarian play coming into effect. What happened with the Gyanvapi Masjid issue? Suddenly the commissioner came out running of the survey and said, Baba mil gaye, Baba mil gaye. I am not quoting or misquoting anybody. That was Baba mil gaye. Who was that Baba? Purportedly, the Muslim side said this is a fountain, and according to the Hindu side, this was
that is a question for the courts to decide.
That is dispute has been
but that's Kamruzzaman Choudhury. Why are we putting the cart before the horse? Why are we putting the cart before the horse? We all know what has happened over there. The question that many are asking is let the courts do their job. If they feel there's no merit, they'll throw out the petitions. And I want to bring in Sanju Verma on that because you made a point, you made a relevant point that in a constitutional democracy, let's go with the courts. One second. Let's go one by one. Sanju Verma, the simple point being made over by Kamruzzaman Choudhury, if I've understood him rightly, is that he is saying that there were tyrants at that point of time. You can respond to her. There were tyrants at that point of time, and post 47 we have a constitution in place. Can we, in today's day and age, apply what has happened several centuries ago and conflate it with today's position? Please respond to him, Sanju Verma.
Madhav, first and foremost, it's 18 minutes into the debate. I have not heckled anyone, and I'm sure the courtesy will be extended to me. First and foremost, let's be very clear. You know, somebody said here that this is with an eye on 2024. Excuse me, history says Aurangzeb demolished a temple and built the mosque on this particular site, the disputed Krishna Janmabhoomi site, which means that this is a festering problem for the last 353 years. Hindus have been tolerant and patient for 353 long years. The earliest petition in this case was in 1964 and repeatedly, be it the Allahabad High Court or the Supreme Court, dismissed petitions. 1964, which means even in present day and age, this is a 59-year-old problem. But suddenly, now that in 2023, the Allahabad High Court's verdict of having a survey done of the Shahi Idgah Mosque has not been stayed by the Supreme Court, look at how the entire cabal is rattled. Today, the judgment of the Allahabad High Court has come into question. The bona fides of the Supreme Court are being questioned. The integrity and the character of the Supreme Court, that has been put in the dockyard. So it can't be my way or the highway. And I say this to the Muslim community. There are many progressive Muslims. you can't start playing this victimhood narrative each time the courts rule against you. The most important point is this, without beating around the bush. Everybody says that this Krishna Janmabhoomi-Shahi Eidgah Mosque issue was sorted out on the 12th of October 1968 because both the Hindu and the Muslim side, the warring factions came together and the Hindus conceded that आगे से इस मामले पर वो दखलंदाजी नहीं करेंगे and the land that supposedly belonged to them, they abdicated the ownership on that. Now here is the catch. I always say, Madhav, the devil is in the detail. On the 12th of October 1968, the two warring factions, the Shahi Idgah Mosque Committee was on one side, and on the other side, from the Hindu side, the Krishna Janmabhoomi Seva Sangh, they signed the agreement with Shahi Idgah Mosque Committee. But the catch is this, that the Krishna Janmabhoomi Seva Sangh does not own the rights to the Krishna Janmabhoomi Temple. That right is owned by the Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust.
1951, the Sangh.
Unless the agreement was signed by the Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust, the agreement itself was
1951
not valid. Madam, this is not fair. You don't allow me to heckle anyone. This is not fair.
Definitely. Make your point. Mr. Kamruzzaman Choudhury, let her make a point. You can respond to her. Nobody is shutting you down. You can respond to her. Let her make a point. Yeah, complete your point quickly, sir. Sanju Verma.
It is like saying Madhav and Sanju Verma have entered into an agreement. Madhav represents the Muslim, Sanju Verma represents the Hindu side on the Krishna Janmabhoomi dispute. But the catch here is that Sanju has not been authenticated on behalf of Hindus to have a negotiation with Madhav. That negotiation should have been done by the Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust, which is...
How can you allow...
Okay, that's a fair point. Okay, that's a point that many have made.
Is managed by, say, Mr. Hari.
I got your point. No, Sanju Verma, I've got your point, and this point has been made in the courts as well. Let me get in. Kamruzzaman Choudhury wants to counter you on this very point, I understand. Mr. Choudhury, your counter to that, the trust which made that agreement in 60. I have two questions.
Yeah.
What if that organization was A, not authorized to do so, as is the claim of several of the petitioners, and B, does that agreement not change the character of that location, and therefore the 47 rules don't apply if something happens in 64 is also a contention that several have made. Two questions. Kamruzzaman Choudhury.
Madhav, that my premise is that this entire dispute is being decided in the Allahabad High Court and the Mathura courts. They are deciding whether the agreement is a valid one or not. Now here you have got the 12-year rule which says whether a property is in adverse possession of a person, then it will be deemed as the ownership of that property. Now the Hindu side has failed to show the ownership document of the mosque. The premise of the Hindu side is that Shri Krishna was born in Mathura. That's what the Hindu books say. That's a fact. But do you have any proof that the Shri Krishna was born exactly at the same spot where the Shahi Idgah is standing? Same dispute has been created as in the case of the Ram Mandir issue.
Many have referred to the Hindu symbols.
The only thing out here is that
the Hindu symbols there. There are Hindu symbols there that many have seen and have spoken about.
Madhav, can I take 30 seconds to answer what Kamru has asked?
Okay, go ahead.
Madhav, you can say, even in the Ram Mandir case also, plenty of lot of symbols were found. But then this was a civilizational change.
So this is what has to be. No, but Mr. Choudhury, this is what has to be probed.
1991 Act in force.
Okay, so this is what has to be probed. Many are saying, let's look at that. Let's get the facts. Let's get the facts in order. Let's get the facts in order is what they are saying. I'm going to allow Sanju Verma a chance to rebut what you're saying. And then I'm going to come back to you. Yeah, Sanju Verma.
Thank you, Madhav. So point number one, Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust, that was never party to the agreement signed on 12th October 1968. Since Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust was not a party to the agreement signed on 12th October 1968, that agreement is invalid. The second point, which Kamru asked, what is the proof? Besides, like Madhav mentioned, goddess Ganga, unka jo vahan hai, that is crocodile. Goddess Yamuna, unka jo vahan hai, turtle. Various symbols, swastika, trishul, ye sab paaye gaye hain, but forget that. There were archaeological surveys conducted by the ASI, Archaeological Survey of India, in 1971. There was another survey conducted in 1974-75. There was a third survey conducted in 1991 and a fourth survey conducted in 2010. And all these surveys said that the earliest temple on the Krishna Janmabhoomi site was built, you know when? It was built on the 6th century AD, and then a mosque was built after desecrating and demolishing that temple way back in 12th century AD. And then again Aurangzeb came in and built a mosque in 1670, demolishing the existing temple. So there is a history dating back to 6th century AD. Repeatedly the temple on that disputed site was demolished, desecrated. You have no business lecturing.
Okay.
ये मामला तो सुलट गया, ये सुलझा नहीं।